Hi everybody, this is Bobby with bobbystamps.blogspot.com. I am so excited to share with you the card that I made today. It is one of my favorite cards. I have one other one that is a little bit more, I like it a little bit more, but it is the same stamp set, and I'll show you that later, at a later time, not during this video. But if you want to see how I made this cute card, I'm going to show you today. I just love the little chick. This is soon becoming one of my favorite stamp sets. There is a lot of ink and your hands are going to get really dirty. So if you don't like ink on your hands, you're not going to want to make this card. There is a lot of ink sets that we have to use, but this is such a cute little card and one of my favorite stamp sets. This is a good way to learn a different technique today too, like I did. You never know what you can do until you try. And I also wanted to talk to you too about my classes. Make sure that you check out my blog. It's bobbystamps.blogspot.com. I try to put up a new video every day. I post every day on my blog, different techniques, and I offer the classes. Right now I'm offering the Grateful Bunch. You would make 8 cards, 2 cards of 4 different designs, and I provide all the paper. You don't have to pay for any of the paper. I don't make any money off the class. What it is you order the products from me, and you would order the class through PayPal. If you have stamp sets or ink pads that I want you to use for the class, you can substitute them just by leaving me a message in the message bar on PayPal on the account there, and you can substitute those for anything. Right now I think the class is $56, $57, something like that. It's not too much. But this is a good way to get started in Stampin' Up. This is a good way to build your stash for Stampin' Up, to get inks, stamp sets, things like that. So please make sure that you visit my blog, subscribe. You'll get updates every time I post something new. Like I said, I try to post every day. I post a video, or at least take pictures of the cards I've made throughout the week and put them on my blog as well. And then I'm trying to do at least a couple videos a week to keep you guys entertained and interested. So if you want to see how I made the card, the cute little chick card, stay tuned, guys. Okay guys, I'm going to show you the technique I used to make this card, to make it look like the chick is looking at his or her reflection. So what you'll need is Hello Honey cardstock. And this is the standard 5.5 by 8.5 scored at 4 1/4. And then you're going to need a piece of Whisper White cardstock, and this one is 5 1/4 by 4. And we're going to use a lot of different inks because there's a lot of blending that we do. So we're going to use Soft Suede, Chocolate Chip, Soft Sky, Tempting Turquoise, Mossy Meadow, and Pure Pizzazz. I'm going to move the camera down a little bit so you can see my work surface a little bit better. So the first thing we're going to do is stamp the image of our chick, and I like to stamp him in Chocolate Chip. We're going to be using the stamp set Honeycomb Happiness, and we're going to use the chick. And then for our tag, we're going to use the Hang in There. Almost forgot to tell you guys these important details. For the sentiment, we're using the tags and labels framelits. And I think that's it. Okay, so like I said, I'm going to stamp him in the Chocolate Chip. And you've got to make sure when you're stamping him that you're leaving enough room down here, so when you flip it, we're not going to cut his head off, so that both images are going to be on the card. And then you want to make sure that he's not going to be in the way of the tag too. So you just got to be pretty careful on that where you're stamping him. So I'm going to stamp him right about there. Okay. Then we're going to take our, I forgot another ink pad, Hello Honey. And then I'm just using an array of sponges, Stampin' Up! Sponges. I've done this card a few times, so I kind of have them memorized which one I used. Dip it just a little bit and just swirl. Oh my hand's not in the way, around to get him colored in. And that's basically all you do to color him. I have my Cajun Craze Stampin' 'Em Right marker, and I just do his feet, and then his beak. Simple as that. Then we're going to move on to doing our sky. I actually like to do the grass first because, as you can see on the card, it's just the grass is just a small amount of the card. So I'm going to go ahead and start with the lightest, and I'm going to start with Pure Pizzazz. Let me make sure I get my right. This lightest green I want to use over here. Okay. So I'm just going to start off a little bit light, and when you do this, you don't want to start directly on your card. You want to stamp off, or I'm sorry, not stamp off, but you want to start swirling off the card and then onto it. So that way it blends pretty well. And like I said, this is just a small part of the card, so we don't want to do a big area. And then we want to do this side of the card and then try to get up as close to the chick as you can. And you just keep blending it until you have the look you want. Now I'm going to go in a little bit darker with the Mossy Meadow. And I'm just going to use the same sponge and do the same technique. And then make sure that you're getting on the bottom around his feet. And then you just keep swirling it until you have the look that you like, or darker or lighter that you want. Then I take the chocolate chip, and don't use the side where you have like your tray. You want to use the side at the top. When you pick your card up, you kind of bend it, like bow it. And then I just randomly kind of made marks like that for the ground. Then you can come in with another sponge and kind of smooth it out. And then come in with your soft suede and add a little bit more. And like I said, you just keep blending until you have the look that you like, what you're happy with. So for right now, I'm going to leave that alone and move these out of the way, and then grab our sponge. And I like to start with my lighter color. We use this for the water and the sky, and you start off and just work on your... This is a messy job for your fingers, so plan on getting your fingers and I got a little bit of brown down there, but we'll try to cover that up. And that's what I mean about it being a messy job. Just keep swirling it. And now I'm going to go in with the darker Tempting Turquoise. And then for the sky, I'm going to leave it almost the way that I have it, but I do just want to add a little bit more of the Tempting Turquoise up here. And just kind of leave it like that. I'm pretty happy with that. So we'll just leave that. And then I think I'm going to try to soften that up a little bit with the chocolate chip. I'm going to leave that open because we have to re-stamp our chick. So the way that we're going to get our image to match up here is masking tape, or packing tape, I'm sorry. Just pull off the amount you're going to need. I stick it on my arm to remove some of the tackiness. And you want to do that a few times. You can even put it on your shirt. And I'm just going to leave it there while I re-ink up the bird, our little chick. Oops, I'm going to do that again. Okay, now re-ink him up. I'm going to get the packing tape, hold it down, and just stamp our image, and then pull it up. And then you just take the tape and you want to try to match up the feet, the image, as close as you can without overlapping it. Kind of like that. And then I like to take my bone folder. You can just use your hand if you want to. I've never had the paper come up with the tape as many times as I've done this. So, and then right there we didn't get it, so we're going to rub it just a little bit more, just to make sure that we get the image down. And there you go. And a little bit, you can see a little bit of the ink came up, but I am not worried about that because all I have to do is take our ink pad and touch it up, and then we're touching up this bird anyway, so we're going to cover him up. And you can do it as light, as dark as you like. Okay. Then we're going to grab our snail. Put it on the back of our card. Then we're going to, I forgot to mention too that we're using the Coastal Cabana Baker's Twine. And then we're just going to wrap it, place it where we want it on our card. Let me grab my tape, because I do the cheater method. Okay, we're going to wrap it around, and it'll probably stick there with the snail. Bend it down and bring it around, and then cut it off if we're happy where it's at. Grab a piece of tape. Tape it down. And then we're using the embellishments Sweet Dreams. And these little green buttons match that color perfectly. We'll grab a dimensional and just place it on the back. You could put a glue dot too if you want to, in addition to the dimensional bit. I'm fine with it. And then we're going to center it as best we can on our card. And then I'm going to use the Thinlit to cut out our tag, and I'll be right back. Okay, the Thinlit that I'm using is from this one. So it's the third one in that group. So we want to stamp our image, our greeting, our sentiment first, and I'm going to do it in the Tempting Turquoise. So we just ink up our ink pad, and there you go. And now I'm going to run and cut that out on the Big Shot, and I'll be back. Okay guys, I'm back. I punched it out. Now we're going to take our sponge and our little tag, and I just love to do this if the tag is white and just plain, and we're not layering it or anything. I just think it kind of dresses it up a bit. Grab a dimensional. Okay, sorry about that, guys. My camera keeps dying and telling me the memory card's full, and so I keep getting interrupted and having to delete some of my stuff off there. Next time I'll check that before I start. Okay, so then I like to take it and just kind of put it in between the two. And there you go. That's our card. That's the quick and easy way to make the card and make the chick look like he's looking at his own reflection in the water. So I hope you guys liked the card, and if you do, please make sure that you hit subscribe and like, and make sure that you visit my blog for daily updates and card ideas and giveaways and things like that. Again, it's bobbystamps@blogspot.com. Thanks, guys.